and we're back with Tea Time Disc Golf. This is Steve Bro and Devin Frederick.
How's it going, everybody?
We're at the 2018 World Championships in absolutely beautiful Vermont. Smuggler's Notch is the resort that we're going to be at all week here, competing to see who is going to be the 2018 World Champion. So we have coverage of the first round. It is going to be a threesome. We have a great card to follow, some electrifying players, and we'll see how these guys fare out here today. Devin, who do we have today?
We got one of our traveling buddies from New Jersey, Hank Hendry. We have Eagle McMahon, which everybody knows, and Joel Freeman, which we're all becoming familiar with as well.
Sure. Two Colorado guys out there on the course today, with Hank, who is from the East Coast, certainly known in and around our area as one of the favorite local pros. So it's exciting to see him on the card today.
Yeah, and here we are on hole 1, 575-foot par 4. Drives, nothing to be taken lightly. The terrain slopes slightly right to left, and as a right-handed back player, you can find the OB pretty easy.
Yeah, it's the tee shot is really important. You're placing something in a good position to be able to throw that up shot and get it close, walk away with your 3. Most of the players are going to want to get the birdie on this hole immediately. Eagle electing to go with a MD3, which is
smart play.
Yeah, he's not trying to bite off too much.
Yeah, and you can see not a lot of action on the ground. It's not skipping down the hill, so it's a great play by Eagle.
And we have Hank throwing his orange destroyer. He's going to try to get a little bit of mustard on it and get it to slide up in the right position.
Yeah, he's probably aiming right around that white birch. I think most of us are aiming to get right around that white birch and give us a fairly easy up and down.
That was a great shot. Very good position for his second shot.
Joel Freeman. See you, Joel.
And then, yeah, Joel's been in the spotlight lately. He's played some good rounds of golf. And I think people are expecting good things out of him today. So, a good-looking shot out of his hand.
And yeah, put himself right in the lane to shoot up.
Yeah, he should be fine there. And Eagle's electing to go with a forehand. Which is smart. He's going to keep it on the left side. Oh, close to that OB, though.
Yeah, just right around the circle's edge. Hank going to try and float a judge on up there.
Yeah, and he was going to play the slope the right way, try to get his disc to land where it's not going to roll towards the OB. It's just going to kind of lay flat, which is a smart play. Eagle was using the ground to his advantage throwing the flick, and a really good shot by Hank. He's going to be well inside the circle. Good way to start the day with a good drive, good approach shot. I want to see if Joel can mimic Eagle and get his flick to stick somewhere close up there. He does not like it.
Pulled it a little wide, ends up OB. In between circle 1 and circle 2. He'll have a run at it.
Yeah, he'll have a bit at it, but that's not what he wanted his first approach shot of the day to look like.
Over the top, and he'll have a little bit of work coming back.
And here's Eagle for his birdie. And a great putt just outside the circle.
Yeah, starting off with a birdie, that's the way you want to start your World Championships.
And Joel just not high enough, unfortunately. And he's going to walk away with a double bogey on this to start off.
Yeah, the OB, maybe feeling a little first-round jitters.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were feeling the jitters. We watched a lot of people go OB off the tee on one, which is a pretty straightforward shot for most pros. Hank taking his time, but he's really good at these putts. I don't expect to see Hank miss anything that close today.
Yeah, for the skill level of the players out there, for the skill level of Hank, that's pretty routine.
And a good shot of Eagle. He's just super smooth with his putt. Even when he's not dead center, he still has it good enough where it's going to stick most of the time. So that was a really good putt. Really good start by Hank and Eagle. And we move on to hole number 2, which is a pretty straight run at this basket. You can see it from the tee box. You're staring at it. You want to be able to just throw a straight putter right down towards the basket and walk away with your 2. I certainly don't think anybody is going to have a whole lot of trouble with this hole.
No, it's probably one of the shortest holes we're going to play out here, if not the shortest. I'm not exactly sure, but it is. It's just a straight putter shot, but you got to hit the lane.
Unless you're Eagle, and it looks like he's going grenade.
I don't even know what he's eyeing up here, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, he caught a lot of stuff going up. He had to have practiced that, and it had to have worked out pretty well for him. Because
I'm kind of curious what he's even throwing to try that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
Hank's going with his whale, glow whale.
A good shot. He's hitting the hill the right side.
Yeah, right around circle's edge. Give himself a chance.
He's going to have some stuff to deal with that putt. And Joel, just immediate early release. So as I said that nobody's going to have problems with this hole, you know, all 3 people are going to have tricky shots here.
It's only a 15-foot gap.
And Eagle's
down
outside.
down the lane to begin with. So
Eagle's still outside the circle with a putt for par. Joel has a tricky approach shot here, but I can't imagine that he's going to have trouble getting up and down. Yeah,
well
great
within
shot.
the circle.
Yeah, great shot by Joel.
Eagle from just outside the circle, putting downhill at OB.
No problem. Great par save by Eagle. It's probably fortunate that he didn't have anything in his way there.
Hank straddling out, trying to find a line. Great putt by Hank. 2 for 2. Great start to your World Championships.
Absolutely. And keep that momentum rolling here for Hank. And Joel's going to tap in for his par. So these guys, Hank obviously taking advantage. He's going to get the birdie. Joel and Eagle are going to have to settle for par. But, yeah, take a look at that putt out of Hank from his knee. Just gets in there on that left-hand side. That was so good. So Eagle right now is at 1 down. Hank is at 2 down. And we have Joel, who is sitting at 2 over par. As we move into hole number 3, hole number 3 is a tough uphill putt. It's 285 feet. But it does play uphill, so you've got a tricky kind of flexing shot to get up and around and get something close. And then the basket does sit on the downslope, and you have OB at the bottom of that hill, not too far away from the basket. So reaching that OB is not out of the question. It does have some trickery to it. You just got to throw a very good golf shot up that gap.
Yeah, and as you can see, you're going through the trees. You got a little bit of a low ceiling with the hill going up. And it's not easy, and having to throw it in that tight window, it's very easy to go long.
That was a really, really good shot by Hank. It looked like he was throwing his T-bird just on a really good line and made it all the way up to the basket. He shouldn't have more than 15 feet.
And you can see what the bigger arms are doing. They're just taking that tunnel shot out of play and just putting something up in there.
I mean, it is risky, you know. I mean, that was fortunate because it could have rolled away, it could have hit something and fallen in a bad place. But he did get fortunate. He's right at circle's edge, so we know Eagle putting. He'll be fine.
Yeah, you can see those stakes running up the right side of the fairway. So if you do try and go over the top and don't make it over the top of those farthest right trees, you're going to be OB.
And Joel showed you exactly what can happen, though, when you execute the right way. He's right there within 15 feet as well.
Yeah, all these guys are right around the circle.
Yep.
Eagle with a great putt. No doubt, you know, it was right there where it needed to be to stay. And Joel for his birdie here.
Great birdie out of Joel.
Oh, that was tough.
And Hank looking to go 3 for 3. Should be pretty routine for him, though.
Yeah, starting your day with a turkey is for the you know, professional world championships. That is exactly how you want to start your tournament. And if you, especially on this course, we'll see how the scores end up. But I would assume that Fox is going to be playing harder than the second course, which is Brewster Ridge. So you do have 2 courses out here that are going to be in play all week. The first one is going to be this Fox Meadows, which is an outdoors. You see the sun out. It's a hot course, and then Brewster is a course that plays primarily in the woods and in the shade. So you have half the field starting at either one of the courses, and then we switch places for tomorrow's action. But this is hole number 4, and hole number 4 is a tough one.
Yeah, 620-foot par 4. There's a little safety island off to the right, which is no treat in trying to hit, or you can try and hit the narrow runway down straight in front of you. And then your basket's sitting on a slightly elevated green with OB behind it as well.
Yeah, most people are gonna, I think, are gonna play that right-hand side onto the island, throw a big hyzer out there, get something safe, and then they're gonna have a mid-range or a putter approach up to the basket. So this should be a pretty routine hole for most of the pros. I don't see anybody trying to land on the runway here or the strip. I think most people are going to go out to the right like you're going to see Hank do here.
Yeah, Hank's just turning over his destroyer, trusting it to come back out and land in the
It's perfect.
inbounds.
Yep. Yeah, and then he'll have either a fairway or a mid-range to the basket from there. We'll see how far Eagle can get up there, though.
Looks like he's just trying to lay in the middle of the island. There is a bush right in the middle of this island.
That was
a little up from where Eagle landed. That it'll give you some trouble if you get pinched up against it.
That was a really good shot out of Eagle. And Joel playing that same strong hyzer out into the fairway. Really good shot. But yeah, there's that bush that you were talking about just now.
Yeah, it'll cause you to have to stretch out to either side of it and throw an unnatural shot. But Hank's set up pretty good here. He should have a mid-range, maybe a fairway driver right up to the pin.
Or his destroyer. Yeah, really, really good shot. Really good controlled shot out of Hank. He knew distance what he wanted to do there, and boy, he set himself up to get 4 birdies in a row.
And yeah, you can see how this bush is causing Eagle to have to go with his forehand.
He might be going with it anyway. I think that's a shot at this stage that Eagle is really comfortable with throwing. So, yeah, that was pretty routine for him.
It was definitely an easier shot than the backhand from there.
And Joel's going
Same
with
thing.
a sidearm as well. Left it a little bit to the right, but it looks like it's coming back just on circle's edge. So, with the slightly elevated basket, that is anything circle's edge then becomes a little bit more tricky. You know, I mean, it's no gimme putt when you're looking up at the basket like that, because it's easy to do that.
And slightly elevated basket.
Yep.
Just leave it a little low.
So unfortunate for Joel. He played the hole well enough, just couldn't make the putt at the end. And then we'll see. Eagle and Hank should be cleaning these up without any issues.
Yeah, they're right up against the wall, which is only 10 feet.
Right. So Eagle cleaning up, and Hank's going to clean up here. And Hank's going to literally go 4 birdies in a row, you know, and just start on fire. So it's exciting to see one of our local friends go out there and start to tear up the course. And Eagle is not doing too bad himself. He's gotten 3 out of 4, so he's hanging. I think that Joel, being even par, it's time for him to move a little bit, or he's 1 up, and it's time for him to move a little bit. So we move on. Hole number 5 is it's a tricky hole. You've got OB that plays pretty difficult. You know, you're going to see the hyzer shot that's going to go out to the right, and people are going to try to cut in either over these trees or through these trees. I think the smart play is just playing the hyzer shot just on the other side of the initial trees there and just trying to land something in that little gap. But the basket does sit up on a plateau. You have water down to the left. You have OB on the right and the left on this shot. So it's a placement shot. You've got to be careful with your tee shot.
Yeah, 445-foot hyzer shot, pretty much. Just trying to knife into that bank. Righty or lefty. The lefties are playing it out towards the lake and hyzering in. We're playing out away from the lake and hyzering in.
Point being, there's OB everywhere, though, so you just have to be careful with your tee shot. Hank, very fortunate. He's going to have just a layup shot here. You know, he'll be able to get his 3 very easily. I can't imagine that he'll give it too much of a run from back there.
No.
But he's playing this for a 3. I mean, he wasn't being ultra aggressive trying to get to the basket. Just wanted to play to a safe area. Eagle showing you over the top. And wow, there is OB there. So there is a very good chance that Eagle found that OB.
Looks like Joel's lining up a similar line.
Yeah, he's going big hyzer, but he definitely went inside a little bit too much. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
what a great shot.
He went through the gap in the trees where Eagle went over.
It almost looked like he was going to be in trouble there, and he ends up parking it. So great shot by Joel. He with a nice, easy shot to the basket. You're not going to have a problem cleaning that up. And Eagle was safe, huh?
It looks like it.
And
Pretty
good for
fortunate.
him.
You can see it right there behind him in the rocks.
Yeah, great birdie out of Eagle. Very fortunate that he didn't roll down into the OB. And we'll have Hank come up and clean up his par, and that's going to be his first par of the round.
4 down through 5.
Yeah, he's on a great pace.
Great, though.
Yep, on a great pace.
A lot of OB on that hole. Tight OB.
Yeah, so Eagle and Hank are going to be 4 down after hole number 5. Joel is still going to be he's getting one back there, so he's making moves. He's doing what he needs to do to get back in this thing. Hole number 6 is it's a shorter par 3. Okay, so most of these guys are going to pull out a mid-range and they're just going to turn something or a flick shot. You're probably going to see most of the top pros playing a flick shot on this hole, to be honest with you. But you do have OB all over the place. You can see it on the left. You can see it on the right. It's an elevated basket once again, so you want to be close on this. Anything outside the circle, again, with an elevated basket makes putting very tricky.
Yeah, 290 feet, so anything inside 300, you're feeling like it's a must-get as a pro.
You see Eagle almost putting it in with his flick shot. That was an amazing shot. We'll see Joel doing the same thing here. Being right at that 290 feet mark for this basket, I think it's accessible to most people that have a moderate flick shot. You don't have to have a huge flick game in order to throw 290 feet. You're going to see Hank play the backhand here. And, boy, that's on a great angle coming in. He's just going to leave it just a bit short.
Yep. Nice turnover rock shot.
Yeah.
Inside the circle.
Inside the circle, yep. But, again, the elevated basket's tough. Oh, very good. He thought he left it a little bit to the left-hand side, but it stuck for him.
Eagle back in the trees a little bit, but should be able to find a position where he can make the putt.
Has to straddle, but this is something that he works on every day, I'm sure.
Easy work of that.
Yeah, so Eagle is now 5 down through 6 holes. So he is certainly running hot as well.
And Joel having no problem finding himself under par now.
And Hank with a good putt. He gave it enough to get it to stick, which was good. You know, anything lighter than that, and that would have bounced out to the left. But that was a good putt. And we move on to the monster. You know, we're going to hole 7, 1,225 feet, par 5. The first shot is crucial, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, you got to decide whether you want to try and go for it and get over the little ditch, or if you want to lay up and try and throw a big second shot.
That's not that little of a ditch. It's it is deceivingly big, and it will gobble up your disc if you're not careful. It's a very, very tough hole. You know, I mean, you have a high percentage of the pros that are going to go over that and make an attempt at cutting a little bit more off of this hole, because if you do lay up short, it takes 2 more really good shots to get your birdie on this hole. Whereas if you can get over that ditch on your initial shot, you're cutting off a lot of the distance on this hole. And there are rumors that there was a 3 out here in the first round, and that's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's crushing.
Yeah, and it was an inside the circle 3 as well. So second shot inside the circle here as you watch these guys throw. Just try to imagine that. And Eagle just laying up. So you can see one of the strongest players in the game, somebody who can throw it the furthest, knows that he doesn't want to tamper with with that ditch and going out of bounds on this first shot.
And yeah, I mean, if he's comfortable hitting about halfway over that ditch to the basket is a wide landing area. So if he's comfortable hitting that wide landing area from short of the ditch,
Yeah.
then that would be my play too.
And Hank with a good shot. He's just going to put it right down there in the middle as well. And then have the largest part of the gap to work with now as they throw their second shots. And, again, try to keep it between the OB stakes. There's a lot of them out there.
And yeah, it looks like Eagle just went with something overstable, throwing it out there to the tree line and letting it fade back in.
Great shot. He knows that he can get something close from there. Joel with a strong hyzer shot. See, he's going to be flirting with that left-hand side, but he should be fine.
Yeah, he gets into that area where it widens up a little bit.
That would almost look like it was center cut. And Hank pulling out his T-bird, so he's throwing a really controlled fairway driver, something that he knows is going to come back enough, and it does. And same disc here. So he's going to pull this out. He's playing this as smart as you can. He's going to throw the disc that he trusts, know what it's going to do.
Yeah, just throwing his fairway driver, keeping it in the fairway. That's what they do.
Yeah, and a good shot out of Hank. This is a big sidearm for Eagle.
Yeah, had plenty of height. Can it stay?
Yeah, that is super close to being out of bounds.
Is he going to make the call?
Let's see. Uh-oh, he's going for the other flag.
He doesn't know. He's going to let it leave it to the group.
Yeah, probably smart. Those guys can come up and make a decision on whether it's in or out. And Joel going with another forehand. He's hoping that was going to get a little bit closer. Yeah. He's going to be at circle 2, so he's going to have a long putt. And Hank laying up to the basket. He's not going to have any issue with that.
No, taking the easy par. This is great play of the hole by Hank.
And Eagle was out of bounds there. So now this is an important putt to keep him on track. Wow. And he saves his par with at least a 55-foot putt on an elevated basket. Oh, and Joel wanted it.
And that was a pretty textbook routine par out of Hank.
Yeah, he knew what he was playing the hole for, and he didn't do anything stupid. He played the hole exactly the way that you should to walk away and not feel like he gave up a stroke. So, and it seems like the next couple of holes are not the easiest holes in the world. As soon as you get to hole 7, hole number 8 is no joke either. You know, it is a tough par 4. You know, it's 675 feet. You're playing uphill the entire way. It's turning to the right. You've got OB all over the place. Then it turns back to the left. So this is a really difficult hole. You've really got to throw a controlled shot, but you almost want to bite off enough to get there on your second shots where you can go for the birdie. A lot of people are just going to play this for the 4. Just keep it in the fairway, throw smart shots, walk away with your 4, and move on to the next hole. So this is one of the holes that is it's tough. It has teeth.
It does. I mean, it's 675. It probably plays almost 800, I'd say, with how uphill it goes the entire way.
I'd agree.
And yeah, most of us, I think, are just playing placement shots, getting it in the fairway. You'll see your bigger arms maybe almost going over top of these trees on the corner, but trying to get up there as far up the hill as they can.
Hey, Eagle playing it smart. He's going to play a controlled flick to the middle of the fairway, and then he's going to make an attempt at getting up there for a putt. But he knows that he can throw an accurate 400-foot shot from there to the basket. Where Joel is going big, so Joel is trying to bite off a lot. And it just came out too much, and that's the problem. Is now he's going to be playing 3 from there, and it's impossible.
Yeah, that's
birdie the whole year.
I mean, it's a pretty tight green up there, and you're throwing close
now,
to 400 feet of power at least.
Now you're fighting to save 4, and Hank just threw that a little bit too low. But again, you know, he has 2 more shots to get to the basket, get his par, and walk away. So keep this in bounds. Get moving.
A little straighter than he wanted, but
Yeah,
hooks
he
up
is.
in time, keeps him in
Looks
bounds.
like he's safe, yep. And Eagle going flick here.
Not a bad play, playing it out over the OB, coming to the inbounds.
And just at Circle 2's edge, so once again, I don't think that Eagle was trying to be too aggressive. I think that he was playing this for par as well.
Yeah, I mean, from there, the OB is only going to be 25 feet behind the basket.
It shows you.
I mean,
Yeah,
you might not get real aggressive.
That shows you a lot of maturity out of Eagle's game and the way that he's playing golf right now and how serious he's taking it. He knows where he's dropping strokes in the past, and he knows where to play safe and get his birdies where he needs to. So really impressive, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he almost took a page out of Nate Sexton's book and just threw the forehand off the tee there
Sure.
instead of trying to get way up there and risking the OB like we seen Joel do.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Because Joel is he's going to be struggling to get par as opposed to, you know, vice versa.
And I think Eagle knows he could have got closer to the basket on his second shot and gave him a little better chance at the birdie.
Yeah, Joel not happy with his putting right now. That's a couple of times now that he's left it short, and he's going to walk away with a bogey.
And yeah, that's always the worst feeling when you're only off by the slightest bit. You feel like they're going in. They almost feel good, but don't go in.
I feel like Hank is playing zero pressure golf.
It just looks like he's having fun out there.
I feel like he's just playing the course the way it should be played, and there's no stress, and he's just kind of hanging out. He's playing golf, you know. That's what I like to see. What a great looking shot, though. You know, I mean, it's.
And here we are, hole 9, 435 downhill, par 3. This is another one where wind can come into effect. If you have most of the time, you can get a headwind on this hole, and then throwing downhill in this tight green, you end up flipping over into the OB. Not giving it enough and ended up sawing it off to the OB on the left. So, tricky little hole.
Yeah,
gettable.
not easy. No, it's not easy. You're going to see most people, the trouble with this hole for most people is going to be on that right-hand side. They're going to be throwing something that's going to flip too much to the right. Because you do have that hillside that helps keep your disc in bounds, even if you do leave it a little bit to the left. So you're going to see most of the problem on the right, but otherwise, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I would imagine that Eagle's throwing a PD or he's throwing something with some moderate stability, but it looks like he's just playing a really safe shot again. It doesn't look like he's going crazy.
Yeah, with the elevation difference on this hole, it is quite a bit downhill, so your disc can drift a little more than normal.
I think it's just it's the first day. You know, you can't win Worlds on day one,
Yeah.
as they say, but you know you can lose it. So if you play smart and you play consistent golf and you throw up a decent number, you put yourself in position to be a contender for the rest of the week. Whereas if you do play too aggressive on the first day and things don't go your way, you can knock yourself right out of the tournament.
And as you can see, Joel's got to turn it a little too much.
Boy, is that
Catches a lucky tree there.
That was really fortunate. And he's got a long look, too. You know, I mean, he's just outside circle 2, I think, putting.
Hank just laying up from circle 2. Jokery.
Yeah. Like I said, zero stress golf out of Hank right now. We'll see if Eagle gives this a run. It looks like he's lining it up. I don't know. Keeping it close. Just playing smart, you know. Now we have Joel, who's kind of, at this point, he has to be feeling some desperation to make a good putt and to get himself rolling again. And he does just that. Yeah, really, really nice putt out of Joel.
Yeah, capitalizing on that good tree kick. I mean, he could have been
Look,
OB and having to make that to save his 3.
Yeah, he needed that putt. He needed to make that putt to walk away and say, okay, I'm not going to miss anything low for the rest of the round. I'm going to start, you know, just build some confidence back up to what he's doing. There we get to see Joel making that putt. That was a really good putt, which he needed, you know, to gain some confidence back going into the back 9. And that's going to wrap up our coverage of the front 9.
Yeah, we'll have Hank and Eagle tied at -5. Joel Freeman fighting back to -1. And this is some great action going on right now.
It's the World Championships. We're just extremely excited to be up here. Smuggler's Notch is one of the most gorgeous places on the planet. What a great venue. What a great place. Thank you, Jeff Spring, who is the tournament director this year. Can't imagine how much energy and effort has been put into running this big of an event and hosting the best players in the world at your 2 courses.
Yeah, and thanks to Innova Disc Golf for sponsoring the Fox Run side of things. And all the volunteers that showed up. I think they said there's 100 and some volunteers volunteering all week out here at Worlds, and I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, and thank you, Tea Time Disc Golf, for doing some great coverage. And we will be back with part number 2, round number 1, back to see the back 9 of Fox Run, which is just a gorgeous course. So we will see you on the back 9.